Hey, have you ever wondered if that shoebox at the back of your closet contains that pair of socks you've been looking for months? Well, until you open that box, those socks are both there and not there at the same time. At least according to quantum physics. Sounds crazy, I know. But that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. The famous Schrödinger's cat, one of the most fascinating and disturbing thought experiments in the history of science. Imagine this. You take a cat. Relax, it's just a thought experiment. No felines were harmed in the making of this video. Put it inside a sealed box along with a diabolical device. This device has a radioactive atom that has a 50% chance of decaying in the next hour. If it decays, it releases a poison that kills the cat. If it doesn't decay, the cat continues happily purring in there. Now comes the crazy part. Until you open that box, according to quantum mechanics, the cat isn't simply alive or dead waiting for you to find out. It is literally in a bizarre state of superposition, alive and dead at the same time. Think of it this way. It's like that message you sent to your crush. Until they see it, the message exists in two states. I made a fool of myself, and we're going to date. Both possibilities exist simultaneously until the fateful moment of scene. But why would someone invent such a crazy story? Well, that wasn't exactly Erwin Schrödinger's intention when he proposed this experiment in 1935. In fact, he was trying to show how absurd the interpretation of quantum mechanics could be when applied to our everyday world. Schrödinger was basically saying, look at what madness this theory predicts. A cat that is alive and dead at the same time. This makes no sense at all. It was a way of protesting against the dominant interpretation of quantum mechanics at the time. It's as if today I tried to criticize some scientific theory by saying, if this is true, then my dog could be both inside and outside the house at the same time when nobody is looking. It sounds absurd precisely because it was meant to sound absurd, but the story doesn't end there. This thought experiment was just one chapter in a much larger debate between some of the greatest geniuses in physics. On one side, we had Albert Einstein, who never really swallowed this story about quantum superposition. He believed that things should have defined properties, even when nobody is looking. That's why he released that famous phrase, God does not play dice with the universe. On the other side was Niels Bohr, who argued that in the quantum world, things really do exist in undefined states until they are observed. In his view, the universe is naturally probabilistic and uncertain at its most fundamental level. It's like that discussion between your friends about whether the dress was blue and black or white and gold, remember? Everyone saw it differently and the two views seemed irreconcilable. Now you're probably thinking, all right, but who was right? And the answer is complicated. Experiments conducted over the decades confirm that subatomic particles really do exist in superposition. They can be in two places at once, or have two contradictory properties simultaneously. This is a proven fact of quantum physics. But to say that a cat can be alive and dead at the same time is another matter. The problem is that large objects, like cats, interact with the environment in such a complex way that it's practically impossible to maintain a quantum superposition. This phenomenon is called quantum decoherence. Basically, the macroscopic world leaks into the box and forces the system to choose a state even before you open it. It's like trying to keep a secret in a group with 200 people. Theoretically, it's possible, but in practice, someone always ends up leaking the information, right? So why is this hypothetical cat still so famous after almost a century? Because it makes us question the very nature of reality. If we take quantum physics literally, do things really need an observer to exist in a defined state? Or is our understanding of the universe still just the tip of the iceberg? Think about your phone. When you're not using it, do notifications exist before you look at the screen? Of course they do. But what if the universe works differently at its most fundamental level? What makes this thought experiment so powerful is that it exposes the gap between our everyday experience and the strange behavior of the quantum world. We live in a world where things either are here or there, or happen or don't happen. We're not used to this idea that something can exist in multiple states at the same time. It's as if we had been watching a black and white movie our entire lives, only to suddenly discover that there's a whole spectrum of colors we could never see. And this leads us to even deeper questions. If reality is so strange, do we really understand anything about the universe? Does our limited perception allow us to see only a small fraction of what truly exists? Imagine what it would be like for someone from the 18th century to explain how a smartphone works. It would be practically impossible, right? Maybe we're in the same situation regarding quantum phenomena, trying to understand something completely outside our frame of reference. And there's more. If observation really does collapse probabilities into a defined reality, what exactly is the role of consciousness in all of this? Do we need a conscious being observing for things to take defined form? Or does any physical interaction already count as observation? It's as if you were wondering, does the refrigerator light really turn off when we close the door, or only when someone checks? Now multiply that doubt by 1,000 and apply it to the entire universe. Some physicists, like Eugene Wigner, even proposed that consciousness could play a fundamental role in quantum mechanics. Others consider this an exaggeration and prefer more materialistic explanations, where any physical interaction already serves as measurement. The truth is that even after decades of debates and incredible experiments, we still don't have a definitive answer. And perhaps that's the greatest beauty of science. It's not afraid to say, "We don't know yet," and keep searching. Schrödinger's cat, in the end, isn't just a hypothetical kitten in a box. It's a symbol of our desire to understand the incomprehensible, to make sense of a universe that seems to defy common sense with each new discovery. When we look at the stars, at atoms, or at the very fabric of space-time, we are essentially opening boxes, some containing live cats, others containing dead cats, and some, who knows, containing cats that are both until we decide to look. It's a bit like life, isn't it? Every decision we make collapses infinite possibilities into a single reality. Before you decided to watch this video, there were two versions of you. One who watched and one who didn't. Now there's only one. Or perhaps in some parallel universe, the other you is watching something completely different. Quantum physics hasn't just revolutionized our technology, from computers to smartphones, but also our philosophical understanding of the universe. And it all started with a cat that never existed, inside a box that was never built. Next time you encounter a situation of uncertainty, remember Schrödinger's cat. Perhaps all possibilities exist simultaneously until you make a decision. Perhaps the act of observing is more powerful than we imagine. And if you've made it this far, you're no longer the same person who started watching this video. You've opened a mental box and found new ideas, new questions. The possibilities of what you'll do with this knowledge are almost infinite. So, what do you think? Does reality exist independently of being observed? Or do we, in some mysterious way, actively participate in the creation of the universe simply by being here to witness it? Leave in the comments what you think about this. If you enjoyed this dive into the depths of quantum physics, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for more content that challenges our understanding of the universe. Until next time, when we'll explore another one of the great mysteries of science. Or maybe not. Until you decide to watch, my next video exists in a state of superposition, made and not made at the same time, because knowledge is just the beginning.